That's the first thing that comes to our mind when we think of Josuke is thank you. Whether we did something wrong to him or we did something good to him, we always get the thanks. Thanks for that. And for the wonderful discussion that we had in class. Thank you for that. I would ask Priya to elaborate more because she's claiming to be Josuke's favorite student.
Among my favorite faculties. I'll be diplomatic here. But yes, I never realized that 15th March is going to come so soon. I was like, okay, we still have lots of time left with you. And I can never imagine myself like calling any faculty and asking, no, you have to meet me right now and explain why you're leaving. We don't want you to leave. And yes, like many times we came to you with our serious thoughts, very stupid ideas that were in our mind. And you were always there to make us feel, no, it is something worth. Everything is worth something. You always showed a belief in us that, okay, you can do it. And that was a kind of, it brought a moral responsibility to us, a kind of inspiration. And I think I'm applying for APU or Japanese university is something that I don't want to leave you, Professor. I want to grab you once again. No, Professor, you can't.
So amazing, and I feel remarkably less stupid, but whenever I go to you, I mean, you would tell me, you would make everything seem so simple, everything seems so easy. It's just amazing, and we'll miss you so much. Thank you.
I think he's had an influence on the hairstyle also, right?
Sister, we'll be missing your tutor, like you sitting behind lots of books. We would really imagining you always with that.
And he would open for us to give books again. There would be no space left. Every single cupboard was.
J-Side 200 books to the library, right? That's amazing. I think you can. And by far, I got to know about East Asia a lot through you and Yangchor and your joint discussions. So that's great. And I really liked your balanced approach to various discussions on critical theory. So that's been very enriching for me. So thank you.
Thank you. Thanks,
And he is. He is.
That was even before I ever took any of his courses, which I did much later in the course. And I think he's very generous with his books because I borrowed his copy of Anarchy and Society and I think returned it after 2-3 months. So I'll miss such generosity on campus with books. And of course, being a literature student, your interest in critical theory made me feel less out of place here, with people more inclined towards realism. I always felt far more connected in your classes than I did in any other class.
Yeah. Realism has a way of biting back.
God! That's aggressiveness.
What happened to the videos that you took?
We need more time to.
Okay, you'll send over email. Okay. We are fortunate to have Josuke. Josuke was not only a model of politeness, which you hear a lot about in Japanese, but he was also a model of professionalism. He was a highly dedicated professor, probably not just one of the best in JSI, but probably one of the best in JGU, all of JGU, I would say. Because I've interacted with a large number of JGU professors and we stand up there and we were fortunate to have you for 2 years and we miss you and we hope wherever you go, I'm sure you will continue to contribute in the same way as you did to Jinder.
But no, more importantly, I'm going to miss how much you make people feel at ease around you. Right? Even the first time I met you at the Sonipat police station when we were trying to get our visas acknowledged and etc. And I was just terrified. It was the first time I'd even been into Sonipat and one of the first times I'd ever been to India. And you just made it seem very simple sitting in the police station talking to police officers and it seemed very, casual. So thank you so much for that.
We didn't know you had this culinary skill. Because he wrote an essay in the Svetya, the student magazine. It's a very funny one. I hope all of you have read it. he talks about speaking to some Japanese friend of his about being in India. And this person says, oh, that must be so interesting because you must be eating curry every day. And then he replies, not every day, every meal.
So thank you very much for your time. And still, I cannot really, well, with a chief guest over there, with a little baby. But honestly speaking, I cannot really believe this function is for me. And I still cannot really believe this time next week I won't be here. But for some reasons, especially family reasons and career reasons, I have to go. And my contract will end at the end of this month. So this is perhaps almost the final opportunity to see you. But having said so, I like this angle, really. Simply because I can see you all the face. Before coming here, I've done a lecture whose population was 180 students. It was always held in a huge auditorium. And I can see just almost 10% of the whole population there. But quite unlike my previous experience, I can see your face, so that I can identify whether you get bored or whether you are thinking about today's dinner, and so on and so forth. And that is the very basic standpoint of the education, especially higher education. Simply because here is not the place to pursue knowledge. Not only the place to pursue the ideas, and in order to share the ideas, we have to identify with each other. What kind of ideas are coming from which person. And that, a room or even the whole university, JGU, was a wonderful place. Again, at the very outset of my article, which kindly has been introduced by our dean, at the very outset of my days, 2.5 years ago, I had been really bombarded by a number of "Wow India" or "Why India" questions, and perhaps especially around my relationship. Almost no one could ever expect that I would be here. In fact, but sometimes change does lead like this kind of small occasions, and now I am really sure that my decision to come here was absolutely right, absolutely correct. And I never regret my days, 2.5 years here. I just regret I am going. But the important thing is, it's not the very end. It's rather the end of the beginning. Because we get connected, we get to know with each other. Some of you have already approached through the Facebooks and so on and so forth, which I have been so long silent. But after I'm leaving, I'm going to open to everybody. So, well, partly because, when I was an instructor, so you were a student, basically, so I thought, it's going to be a good idea to keep just, a bit distance. But apart from that, anyway, we get connected. And